Hi, everybody, and welcome to our session on LeadPage's reports and split testing. This one's just going to kind of show you the different reporting and analytics that you can get from LeadPages. It truly does have some great reporting features, unlike an optimized press or one of those plugin features. This will really help you kind of get an idea of conversion rates, if people are actually looking at your page, if they're signing up and taking action. And it will also allow you to create what are called split tests. And split tests are a way for you to take a page and then make a duplicate of it and tweak some of the content or the template or the images and see which one performs better. Okay. So these are really important things that if you're truly trying to get the most bang for your buck for any of your landing pages, looking at reports and split testing is key. So real quick, reporting features, A/B split testing. It's also just called split testing. I'm also going to throw in just a couple of things about LeadPages, which are called actions and labels. So these are just other things that you can do to LeadPages to kind of categorize them and then group them together and label them, so it makes it easy for you or your clients to find what you're looking for. So reporting options really are centered around these items. Total number of visitors, which means these are the total numbers of people that land on your landing page, whether it's a webinar page, a launch page, whatever it might be. Unique visitors are people that are unique. In other words, they've been to the page the first time. It's not a repeat visitor. So those are called unique visitors. Total opt-ins, these are the people that actually took action. Right now, opt-ins are for things like an opt-in box. A lot of times if you have a sales page or some other action, you may not see the same numbers here. So opt-ins are people who took action to opt in to whatever your landing page was offering. And then conversion rates looks at the total number of visitors and how many of those took action, and that gives you your conversion rate. So I'll pop over here to LeadPages, and this is actually my LeadPages account, and this is actually what I use. And the reason I come over here is because I actually have some analytics that you can see in here. So if I scroll down, I can see this is the name of my webinar, and these are actual webinars that I did in my business. You can see the number of visitors, right? The number of opt-ins, and this would be my conversion rate. So this is 890 people out of 2,409 actually took action, and they opted in for my program. This one was 1,380, 469, it was 33%. And then you can see this one's 33.3. So it really gives you an idea of all of these. Okay, so you can see I've got some 13, some 17. 30% is actually pretty good. So I've got some pretty good numbers for my pages, this one being the highest of all. Now, a couple things I can do from here. If you'll notice as I hover over these numbers, they're actually hyperlinks. And it will actually open up the analytics page for me. So you can see 2,689 total visitors, but 2,409 people visited the page just once. The difference between your unique and your total is that these people actually visited the page more than once for whatever reason. Of the 2,409, 890 people actually opted in for my webinar, and that was a 37% conversion rate, which is pretty good in the industry. Now, this is a moving target because you'll hear some gurus say, oh my God, you have to have 50% conversion rate, or you need 60, or you need 20. I'm thinking anywhere from a 25 to 50 is a very good rate, but that's my opinion. And obviously there are very different opinions on this out there, but this is a good rate. And you're like, okay, well, what else can I find out? Well, you'll notice there's not a whole lot here, but I can actually look at a specific date range. Right now, this is the entire reporting from the day the page was created. So I can click up here under pick a date, and I could choose like today, right? You see there's absolutely no, and this page has actually been pulled down. That's why there's no zeros, but you could actually zero in on specific. I could say past 7. Oh, look, I got one. Okay. I could say past 30 days. Okay. I got 12 visitors. I got one person to opt in. Okay. Right. And then I can say past 90 days. There we go. I had 13%. Okay. So this kind of shows you that. And then if I click here, you notice that I can actually create my own, like I can say, okay, just between May 22nd and let's say May 4th, whoops, May 29th to, I don't know, here. Okay. And you can actually go in and create your own range. A couple other things you can do down here on the chart is you notice as I drag over these individual bars, it gives me a little pop-up box that tells me a little more about it. Down here's your legend, number of opt-ins, unique, and conversion. And notice as I drag over them that highlights these things. Okay. All right. So these are the values, 1 through 5. This is your conversion rate. Okay. So I can see I had 3 unique opt-ins, but no conversion. 2, no conversion. This day I had 1 and I had 100% conversion. This one, I had 4 uniques, no conversion. This one I had 3, and you can get the idea here. So certain days I didn't get any, but this will kind of give you an idea of how you're doing. And why is this important? Because you want your landing pages to perform, right? If you're not getting any opt-ins, people are landing on the page, but you're not getting any opt-ins, you have a 0 conversion rate, then it's obviously not grabbing attention. So you're going to need to go back and revisit that. So that's why these numbers are so important. You want to have the highest conversion rate as you can. Now you can click edit page here. You also have this drop down menu. You can edit page. You can also reset data. If you want to just wipe it clean and start over, maybe because you've changed the program, this will erase all of your data. An edit page, excuse me, just takes me right back into here so I could make any changes. Now, once I'm in here, you'll notice that I have the ability to do an A/B split test. And I can also go to analytics from here as well. So I can get there a couple different ways. But if I click on A/B split test, this is where it creates a duplicate, an exact duplicate of the page in order for you to split test it. And why do you split test? Because maybe one of your pages is only doing a 14% or 15%, and you want to increase that. And a way that you can increase that is to take a duplicate of the page and create a split test. It doesn't actually create a brand new landing page. It creates a group of pages. Okay, so they're all contained in one page, if you will, and I'll show you what this looks like. And basically what this allows you to do is create a second version of the original landing page and then tweak it and then compare A to B, hence A to B split testing, right? Split testing. So I'm looking at version A to version B. What is the variation between which one is performing better? And so that's why you split test. So it's very simple. I can hit OK. There we go. Just takes a minute. And so what would you like to use as a starting point? So you're making a duplicate. So basically you could just copy the original. So it's an exact duplicate of the original. Or you can make it look like one of your current pages that's maybe using a different template, or you can change the template. So there's many different ways to do this. And so basically I can create a new template for this version. So let's do, I don't know, this one. Okay. And as I said, it makes a duplication of the page. And so now I have a completely different template that I can use. Okay, I can then take that information and tweak it. So I can change all the graphics. I can change the copy. I can change the title. Basically, what you want to do is you want to take the content, tweak it, add maybe different images. I mean, there's so many different ways to split test. You could do completely different content. You could do completely different templates. So the door is open here, but what you're basically trying to do is find the sweet spot where you get the highest amount of conversions. And a good way to do that is to start with a page that you have and then do split testing to see which one's better. So here, I can go in here and add my image if I want to. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because this is basically just creating a lead page, but you get the idea. And then go here and change all my colors. So, and this is called A/B test variation 1, and I can publish it. Oops, sorry, save. And so now I have 2 versions of the same one, okay? Now watch. When it's done saving, okay, so now I'm done, okay? Let's just make sure that it did save it. Seemed to take a long time. I just want to make sure that it worked. Okay, it did. So when I exit the page, Notice that my Get Clients webinar has like a 2 pages here. This is called a split test, and you can see that it's running. And so you can start and stop a split test at any time if you only want to run it for a week or you want to run it for 2 weeks. So basically you can see this. And one of the things I want to show you is this thing called label. And basically what label allows you to do is group and categorize pages. So for instance, if you have a new launch coming up and maybe you have multiple pages that are in reference to the launch, you could use a label. So it'd be easy for you to find them. And you can see I have some labels already here, right? So I can go down here and I can click on one, and then I can actually put a label in there by clicking on the pencil. So let's say this is my Finding Clients program. Okay, and all this it does is it puts the label on there. And you can certainly take it off, but if you have a lot of things that are about getting clients, you could actually go through here and you could actually name them so you can find them easily. Because you can see when you hover over any of these, like here's Finding Clients, right? I could just go in here and where'd it go? Oh, my screen is not letting me to. Well, you get the idea. It's not letting me find it, but there it is. I'll just put it on that one. So you get the idea, okay? So notice that this is a split test, and that's why you can see it. And then here you can do analytics again. There's no analytics. And notice that it has a 0 conversion rate because you're just starting the split test today. So when you create an A/B split test, you actually start testing from this day forward. It does not go in reverse. So if I go down here, and you can see my Get Clients webinar is no longer all by itself. I'm just kind of showing you that it's not there anymore. It's because I split tested it. So now it all becomes one. Now let me show you how you can see things in there. Okay, you can click the pencil to edit. You can also click on the name to edit. So there's several different ways. One other thing I just wanted to show you, you have this drop-down menu called Actions. You can rename, you can publish, you can view, duplicate, and delete. So if you have a page that you like, you can really easily duplicate it from here. So I'm just going to hit Edit. And it opens it up. So this is the original. Okay, this is my original page. So from here, I can easily, copy and paste and all that kind of stuff from one page to another. And you're like, okay, well, how do I get to another page? Right up here. If I hit the drop down, do you see how I have view variation one? And by the way, you can have several variations of the same page. You would just hit add new variation again and create another variation. So I could click view variation one. And what LeadPages does when it works with split testing is it will show the page in random. In other words, one time somebody will land on the page, it'll show the original. Another time it will show the variation. And that's how you're going to find out which one performs better. So there's nothing that you really have to do. The system's going to do it for you. So here's my other page. Okay, and I would edit it just like I would edit a regular old page. It's just a group of pages because you're doing split testing. It doesn't create a separate page outside of this. It creates it inside. And you simply switch between the variations through the drop-down menu. Other than that, you're going to treat it just like a normal landing page. Just like you learned how to create and change it, you're going to do the same things here. So split testing is something a lot of clients don't do, but I really recommend if your clients are not getting the performance from their landing pages that they want, split testing is a great way to find out. Okay, so let me bounce back over to PowerPoint real quick. So we already talked about your reporting options. We talked about split testing, a really great thing to do if you really want to get the most bang for your buck out of a page. You want it to perform better. You're going to need to change some copy, some content, some templates. And I mean, you have to mix it up. And what I would recommend is you don't change a bunch of stuff. You might just change 1 or 2 things to see if that's all it took to get a better performing page. If you change a lot of stuff, then it's kind of hard to pinpoint what piece of that actually made the page better. So a lot of times you'll see people who have 4 or 5 variations because 1 will have a different title, 2 will have a different template, 3 will have different graphics, and then 4 will have different copy. And then you can tell which one of the 5 of them performs the best. And you'll be able to tell based on the variation because one's for title, one's for graphics, one for template, and one for copy. Okay. As I said, for variations, you can choose a new template. You can choose a page, so you can actually create a variation of a landing page off another landing page, or you can just copy the original. Okay, but remember they're contained as a group. And you always want to change 1 thing per test page, I would recommend, because then it's easier to track what the difference is and why is it performing better. So there are some additional reports that you have for split testing. They actually compare themselves to the original. So let me get out of here. And as I said, I started the split testing now, and so you'll notice that my conversion rate is 0 because nobody's done anything. But if I go into my analytics, like I did before, okay, and I scroll down, notice I have a new section down here. So I have the original versus variation 1, shows me the traffic. Okay, now right now, this traffic slider bar tells you how does LeadPages direct the traffic. So right now it's a 50-50 split, which means 50% will go to original, 50% will go to variation. And I can change this, look. So I can say, show variation 1 more than you show the original, or it can be 50-50 or however you want it. The conversion rate compared to the original. So this is the original. So in other words, how does this new variation compare to the original? How many visit, how many opt-ins? Confidence, and then at the end here, you can end the test and save the variations, which means then you'll have the variations as your own standalone page, which then you can use as the main, for instance, opt-in page for this. So realize as long as there's a test running, LeadPages is going to switch between the pages and continue to track the conversion rates between the two. If you decide that one of your pages actually performs better than another, you might want to end the test and save the variations, and that way you have a brand new sales page based on the conversion rates you got from the testing. Hopefully that didn't confuse you, but that's what this will do for you, okay? So you'll see that that's a little bit different. And so jumping out of here, again, I can hit this button here. I can end the test at any time that I want to. I'm just going to go back out. And you can end a test, which you probably want to run a split test for a period of time. You want to probably put, kind of a deadline in the sand on when you want to finish it. And then you can close it up. You want to stop it. So you want to make sure that when you're done with a split test that you turn it off. Otherwise, it continues to run. Okay. So I showed you the labels, how to group and categorize pages. You have colored labels. Feel free to use those. And then lastly are your actions. This little drop-down menu for each of the pages. You can rename, you can split test, you can view page, publish, delete, and duplicate. So if there's a page that you like, sometimes it's easier just to duplicate it, especially if you use the same type of landing pages all the time. Duplication is a great thing to do. And then you just simply change the name and all the other goodies. All right, so what I'd like you to do is create a split test on one of your landing pages and then take some time to actually play with it. I know you may not have any analytics, but just get the feel for how it works. Go in and look at how you can change the percentage of what page gets landed on, how often, like it was a 50-50 split. So go in and play with some of those options. Review the reporting features. There may not be a lot of information on yours because it's a sandbox, but at least give it a look-see. And then add a label to one of your landing pages, just so I showed you how to do that. Okay, so very simple, but I really want you to take some time with split testing and reporting because these are things that clients need. A lot of times people don't pay attention to these numbers, and these numbers are key to success. Any questions, please feel free to click the help button in the upper corner. Email us, members of the Techie Mentor, post in our private Facebook group, or feel free to comment below. Thanks for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.